Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good evening, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are doing well out here. But we got some breaking news for you guys. So I wanted to hop on really quick and give you guys this information. This has been breaking as of the past hour or so. And of course, this is still extremely tragic news, of course. It's unfortunate because we kind of already knew the inevitable. You see what I'm saying? We already knew the inevitable. It's frustrating. I didn't want to talk about this. I was, of course, all of us still have those moments of hope, right? We all have those moments of hope that maybe we have some new, maybe there's some hope. We all hope for that glimmer of hope, for that moment that maybe we're wrong. Maybe the evidence that they found in the trash, in the garbage, in the basement of the Walshe's residence. You hope to sweet baby Jesus, all right? Or to whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in. You hope that the road doesn't lead towards what we all are going to be talking about here. We all hope that maybe it's just something else, right? And unfortunately, we got some bad news, but great news at the same time, because there will be justice. Justice will be served, hopefully, in this particular case. So there is some breaking news. We're going to get into it right quick. So do me a favor, hit that like button down below, send it past 200 likes as you guys start to file in. Some of you guys are savvy to this story, and some of you guys are not, because we've been covering Brian Kohberger, or you've been focused on other stories as well. But this is something I've been talking about on every other show if I can. And now we got some new information. So we're going to get into it. So hit that like button down below. Send it past 200 likes. This is breaking news as of the past hour. We are going to be breaking the news here on this show. I'll give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of everything that led up to this stuff as well. So be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, y'all. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you the information and the stories that you need for the day. All right? I stopped everything I was doing, ran in here to give you this story, this breaking story right now. So let's get into it, okay? We got to get into some stories. And this one, like I said, I was really hoping for something completely different. And lo and behold, this is something completely different. This is something that is the inevitable, what I was hoping not to have happen, okay? But we do need to talk about this, all right? Now, for some of y'all who haven't been following this, we have a mother of 3 by the name of Anna Walshe, and she went missing on New Year's Day. Now, on New Year's Day, she went off and told her to her husband, Brian Walshe, that she had to go home or go to DC to her second home, because she had a real estate emergency. Okay. Allegedly. She had to get out there sooner than expected. Now, let me just throw this photo up so you guys can see just a quick trip down memory lane so you guys remember who we are talking about here. Okay. This is Anna Walshe and her husband. Well, you can basically call him her ex-husband. Let's just keep it real. Brian Walshe. Now, quick little pieces of information here. Brian Walshe was, he's a swindler. He's a con artist. Okay. He finessed some people. He conned some people into buying some fake Andy Warhol paintings, and he got caught. So he currently, at the time of this whole situation of her missing and whatnot, he was under house arrest, okay, because he committed a crime. All right. So, and of course, yes, in this photo, somebody just said, where did it go? Where did it go? Somebody said he seems very proud of himself here. It just disappeared on me, but I totally agree. Look at the look on his face. He's smiling and walking out like he's just like, oh, wow. And this is a photo of him getting escorted out by law enforcement because of things that were found in their basement, okay? Which I'll get here into in a second, okay? But he told police that she kissed him on the forehead early in the morning of New Year's Day, jumped into a lift, went to the airport, Boston Logan International Airport, hopped on a plane to fly back to D.C. where she does her main job. She's a very successful she's very successful in real estate, all right? And apparently she went out there to answer or to handle a real estate issue, a real estate emergency. Well, she leaves. A couple days later, her job calls the police because they're sitting there going, she hasn't been here. We don't know where she is, so on and so forth, which is interesting because his lawyer had it wrong when he was first seen in court, which I'll explain here in a little bit why, okay? But he went on to tell everybody before he was arrested, he went on to tell everybody that, he waited 3 days to actually report her missing, ask where she was. But the funny thing is her job called first. Her job was the one asking about her whereabouts. He jumped on right after that, being like, oh, yeah, my wife is missing. Where's my wife? Right? So, after many days, he goes off and says he went to go see first off, he went off to go get some ice cream for his son, a chocolate shake. Okay. Then after that, he went off to go see his mama. And while he was on that road trip to go see his mama, he got lost for 20, 30 minutes. He did a detour, right? So, of course, law enforcement's been watching him like a hawk and all that stuff, only to find out that, one, he went to a Home Depot outside of his jurisdiction, because you got to remember he is on house arrest, so there's only a certain amount of distance he can do, okay? In certain places he can and cannot go to. So he went to a Home Depot off the reservation and bought $450 worth of cleaning supplies, a hazmat suit. This includes everything: cleaning supplies, hazmat suits, various types of tapes, cloth, etc., drop cloths, you name it. And all of us keep wondering, what the hell is he doing with $450 worth of cleaning supplies? He going to clean a school? Is he really that big of a hypochondriac? Is he a germaphobe? What is this, right? So after law enforcement does their due diligence, they find blood in the basement of the Walshe's residence. Same residence that their 3 young boys, ages from 2 to 6, are sleeping, resting their weary little heads, playing with their toys, watching Coco Melon, doing this, that, and the third. Just a floor above. Imagine that. They found blood and a broken knife in the basement. Then they went out to a dumpster, a little outside from his mama's house, and went combing through all this trash, only to find more remnants of what may have taken place in the basement of the Walsh's residence. We're talking drop cloth, bags, you name it, a rug, etc., covered in red. Okay? But Of course, this is obviously something that you go, well, wait a second. We don't know everything. They still got to do their due diligence, right? Law enforcement has to, pin everything, connect all this stuff, so on and so forth. So he gets arrested, which is the photo that you see him walking out of his house. He got a smile on his face like, you got to be kidding me. When we all know him guilty. Him guilty. Okay? So they pin him for misleading law enforcement, for straight lying in their faces. Okay? Pinocchio style. Nose getting longer and longer as he keeps just creating more and more stories of BS. And of course, he sits there and goes, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. Well, we got some new information, y'all, which I'm sure shocked the hell out of him as well. To me, still shocking, but not at the same time. You feel me? Take a look at that. Brian Walshe has now been charged in the unaliving of Anna Walshe, or Anna Walshe. And yeah, like I said, we all have that small little inkling in the back of our brains of going, man. But then there's the other part of us like going, well, it was inevitable. With all the evidence that they found that was all covered in red. This wasn't like she just had a really bad paper cut, okay? And he went to mend the wounds. No, there was a lot of red. So much that he missed a spot, it looks like, as he was trying to clean up. There was a rug. There was a rug with red on it. Cloth. Towels, etc. Covered in this stuff. So, of course, a part of us is like, oh, man, fingers crossed. May she make it. But we know the inevitable. I hate to say it like that. But let's keep it reals. It's not like he just suddenly hit a deer or something. I mean, come on. Come on, guys. We all knew this was inevitable. It still sucks, but we knew this was going to be inevitable. Let's take a look at this article. Okay. Brian Walshe, the Massachusetts art-swindler, currently behind bars for misleading a police investigation into the disappearance of his wife, was charged with her M. Okay, according to Norfolk District Attorney's Office. Then they said this today. So, the district attorney, Morrissey, announced the issuance of a M warrant in the demise of Anna Walshe, 39, missing from Cohasset since on or about New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, an email statement from the DA's office. The warrant was issued from Quincy District Court Tuesday, on today, January 17th, 2023. The arraignment may be as soon as 9 a.m. tomorrow, dependent on defense attorney's availability. So he might be seeing the inside of a courtroom as soon as tomorrow. Okay? Y'all, before I continue, I said this on the last time we talked about this, but ladies and germs, keep your hands to your doggone selves. Just do it. Okay? I don't care what the argument is about. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care if that person really angers you or they say something extremely insulting. Keep your hands to yourselves. Period. I had a whole other story ready to go and talk about just about now. And then this broke. And it's still the same type of story. Keep your hands to yourself. Doesn't matter if she says no. Doesn't matter if she rejects your advances, no matter how smooth they are. Keep your hands to yourself. Let's continue. Morrissey issued a minute-long statement announcing the new charge, but didn't provide new details about the case. And that's what's interesting, because this obviously is the in order to uniform rules of impoundment procedure, which is interesting. This is the warrant here, okay? But it doesn't say what was it that got him. Now, here's the thing. This could literally be a situation where, come on, there was plenty of DNA. Plenty of red in the basement. There was enough red to pin him to something in the basement. Then they have all the stuff. Let's not forget the hacksaw. Okay? We're talking a hacksaw. We're talking an axe. We're talking about all this stuff, y'all. Let's not forget, this man spent a lot of money to try to cover up his own ass. And all those things were covered in blood. So they have plenty of DNA to sit there, run it back, and know that, okay, no human being could live through this. With the amount of red that was lost, so on and so forth. Let's be real. There's no way someone could survive something like that. So we really don't need more information, but I mean, sure, it'd be nice to know what they did to find him, to catch this guy, for sure. Did they find her remains? What is up? Did he confess? That's more importantly, did he confess? Did he say what needed to be said? Detectives from the Cohasset Police Department and Massachusetts State Police detectives assigned to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office have been involved in an intensive investigation into the fate of Anna Walshe, 39, of Cohasset, mother of 3, since she was first reported missing on January 4th. All right? Again, 3 whole days till she was actually reported missing by Brian Deterred. You know, I like to call him Brian Deterred because we got too many Brians. Early in the investigation, the police developed probable cause to believe that her husband, Brian Walshe, age 47, Brian Deterred, had misled police investigators on material matters important to the search for Anna. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges and is currently being held in the county house of corrections, okay, in Norfolk County. Continued investigation has allowed police to obtain an arrest warrant charging Brian Walshe with the M of his wife. He will be transferred to the Quincy District Court for arraignment on the charge of M. Additional details of the investigation and the evidence in support of those charges are likely to be presented at arraignment, but will not be disclosed at this time. So they're not saying nothing right now. And you know for a fact, there ain't no way that they would sit here and automatically just throw him under the bus without solid evidence, or at least evidence enough that connects him to the unaliving of this mother of 3. Like, you know, we got to look at Brian BK. Let's look at BK for a second, right? They got the sheath, they got the data pings and all that stuff, right? Cell phone data pings and all that, right? But they got that sheath, they got the DNA on that sheath, and they're going, okay, we got something enough to stick on him. This guy had red in the basement, red on a knife, photos and video of him buying $400 worth of stuff, a hazmat suit, hacksaw, an axe, material to basically separate this woman apart. Then on top of it, he even he went into the Googles, all right, into his computer, and even said how to get rid of 115-pound woman. That's enough for me. And then on top of that, let's not forget, they got all that DNA that they found in the garbage and in the basement. You don't think that they can sit there, get some information, get some stuff from her bathroom, her toothbrush, whatever, be able to connect those two together and go, yep, that is her DNA, and therefore this is most definitely her. Without a body, they could do that and sit there and go, bang, yeah, keep him in there. He ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Real talk. He Googled it around the same time that she went missing. Now, I understand coincidence and all that BS, but come on, man. Come on. And you have all that other evidence here? Bruh. Okay? Let's continue. But he Googled that. Yes, he did, love. He Googled it. It's worse than BK. Shoot, you could put him at the scene of the crime. It's in his crib. It's in his basement, baby. Oh, come on. This guy, he's going down. He's going down hard. Don't drop the soap, Brian Deterred. Don't drop dem soaps. Okay? Hopefully they got that liquid soap stuff, you know what I mean? And that loofah, you know? So you can, you know what I'm saying? Just don't drop the soap. All right? And if you do, just leave it there. Just be stinky. Wash yourself with water. Okay? Just do that. All right? And go and get some more at the, you know what I mean? At that store. Shoot. Okay. Mr. Walsh will be transported. We already know about this. A spokesperson for the DA's office said that Walsh will be transported there. And of course, his arraignment to he'll be going to the Quincy District Court, and his arraignment will be tomorrow, if they actually have it for tomorrow. And if they do, you know, I'll be watching. I will be watching. And of course, we already know she was last seen in the early mornings of January 1st, allegedly. All right. January 1st, 2023, shortly after she rang in the new year with her husband and a mutual friend, Jem. And of course, Jem told local news there was no indication of anything other than celebrating the new year. Problems were on hold. There was absolutely no indication that any modicum of tragedy, of disappearance, of anything else could have happened that night, he reportedly said at the start of the investigation. And then, of course, Brian Deterred allegedly told police that Jem left the couple's rented home on Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset around 1:30 a.m. And he kissed his wife. He and his wife kissed him goodbye only hours later before supposedly leaving in a rideshare car. Now, a real estate executive was previously scheduled to depart, Anna, okay, she is a part of this real estate agency, I guess, Tishman Speyer, all right. She was previously scheduled to depart Washington, D.C. on the 3rd of January, not on the 1st, but allegedly said that there was an emergency that required she fly there earlier than expected. And you know for a fact that is a damn lie. I don't care what you say, but what kind of real estate emergency is going on the day of New Year's? On New Year's Day, where? Where? What's going on? Why suddenly the day of? She must fly over there, right? This is him trying to cover his own ash. Period. Her company reported her missing to the police on January 4th. After, according to Brian Walsh's defense attorney, he had contacted the firm asking about Anna's whereabouts. Yeah, he did not do that until they asked about her whereabouts. See, even his defense attorney got it wrong. They said, "Where's she at?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah. Where's my wife? Oh my gosh, where'd my wife go? My wife." You knew exactly where she was, but she had to go. She really had to go to D.C. on an emergency, a real estate emergency. Yeah. But in the days between Anna's disappearance and the missing persons report, Brian deterred, allegedly lied about his own whereabouts. Investigators said he told investigators that he traveled to stores such as CVS and Whole Foods, where he might not have actually been. But he allegedly neglected to mention that he spent about $450 in cash buying cleaning supplies from a Rockland, Massachusetts Home Depot store. Like, it's just so stupid to me, guys. Like this, all of it. Now, I understand somebody, maybe LeBar, okay, if you've been following the BK trial and everything, maybe LeBar might be like, well, there might be something here. There might be something here where he actually walks off. No, I'm sorry, not a chance at all. Not a chance in hell. Okay? Way too much stuff going, that's our guy. You know what I'm saying? The footage, the blood, the fake, she had a real estate emergency on New Year's Day. The fact that her job called about her first, and that's when he said, oh, now I need to start giving an ish about her whereabouts. Let's not forget, again, the Google. He went clickety-clackety, clickety-clack. This is different. Now, maybe LeBar might be like, well, there's a chance, but there's no chance in my personal opinion. Him guilty, okay, guys? Even so, there's footage of him at this, I forgot what this was. I think that he was in a juice bar or something like that, a smoothie bar on the 2nd of January. Full on trying to cover his own booty. Like I said, this is sad. According to court documents and officials, Brian Deterred was spotted on surveillance video. And this is when he was buying the $450 worth of cleaning supplies. Okay. He was wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and making a cash purchase of items, including mops, tape, and drop cloths. And let's not forget the hazmat suit, because he really wanted to get his Dexter on, which is unfortunate, but that's the truth. Investigators also discovered blood and a bloody, damaged knife in the basement of the couple's home, and traced Anna's cell phone to the area of the family's Cohasset home on January 1st and January 2nd. And that's even too, they even have cell phone pingings. You know what I'm saying? They got the cell phone datas. And her phone never left the crib. It was still in the area of the home for 2 whole days. Yet she literally got into a plane and flew to DC on the 1st. So the cell phone would be nowhere near pinging near the crib on the 2nd of January. But guess what? Still showed up. Meanwhile, Brian's cell phone pinged in other parts of Massachusetts. How funny. Such as Brockton and Abington. Despite his lack of permission to be in those areas under the terms of his home confinement. He did not think of anything. He did not think anything through. This is the dumbest criminal in the history of criminals, guys. And I've seen dumber. Okay, I've seen dumb, but this is really dumb. Keep your hands to yourselves, ladies and germs. Man, this angers me so much. A pair of law enforcement sources told CNN Brian Deterred had conducted internet searches, which I already said, how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body. Also, how to do that to a body. So on Tuesday, officials revealed investigators had recovered even more evidence related to their search for Anna Walshe. According to WBZ, investigators searching a waste facility near Brian's mother's home recovered a hacksaw, a hatchet, a rug, and a gory trash bag. Let's just say that. They also appear to have removed and then replaced a dumpster taken from Brian Deterred's mother's Swampscott home, located nearly 35 miles away from the couple's residence. Yet remember, he lost his way to his mama's house. And I've said it before too, okay? I've said it before too. It's your mama. You know it for a fact how to get to your mama's house, backwards and forwards, blindfolded, okay? You may not know the roads, the names of the streets, but you know all the geographical signals. Like, okay, that's okay. Turn the left on the third McDonald's with the M's logo half blown out or something like that. You know what I mean? You know for a fact where your mom is, where your mom lives. You just don't get lost going to your mama's house. I'm sorry. Unless she lives way out in the boonies and this is your first time going out to that crib. Okay? Ain't no way. It's your mama. Okay? Don't even try. Don't even try. Son of a gun. Him guilty. Okay? I got a video for you guys that I want to show you guys as well. It's just, this just frustrates the hell out of me because this is a young mother of 3. And now what's tragic, and I said it before, but now we have a mother that is gone. You have 3 kids that will not have parents anymore. The other part is this man, this monster, in my personal opinion, will be watching his 3 boys grow from behind bars. He won't ever be able to give them advice or anything of that sort. And then those kids will never really get a chance to embrace and truly appreciate a mother's love. They're so young. The youngest one is 2 years old. Do you think he's really going to remember the moments that he's had with his mom? Just saying. This is sad, y'all. Let me play this for you guys. Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys hear it, okay? Let's rock and roll. Wait. Let me try that again. Let me get this right. Hold on, guys. Somebody said Lord Farquaad. Yeah, he cut his hair. Is kind of like he's got a, like he just got done from, jousting or something, like he's a knight or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Young squire. Anyway, let's listen to this. Hit the number 1. Let me know if you guys hear this. Let's go.
Norfolk Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey has announced that a murder warrant has been issued in the death of Anna Walshe, the Cohasset mother, who has been missing since on or about New Year's Day. Of course, you're looking at video of her husband, Brian Walshe, now charged with murder in connection with Anna Walsh's disappearance. He had been charged with interfering with the investigation. WBZ's Chief I-Team investigative reporter Cheryl Fiandaca joins me now to discuss this. And so, Cheryl, bring us up to date on why this would have been issued today.
Well, it looks like the DNA and all of the blood evidence probably came back by now. We know that they found a knife that was partially broken in the basement of the home. They know they found some other blood evidence there. They found other evidence at a site where they were searching here in Peabody. All of this evidence from this site here, taken from the mother's dumpster. The mother of Brian Walshe lives in Swampscott. This was a dumpster outside her condominium where the evidence here was found in. Sources tell us the evidence there involved a hacksaw, a hatchet, some blood, and cleaning supplies, and all of that obviously would have gone to be tested at the state lab as well. And all of that evidence by now would have come back, and they would have all of what they would need to file the warrant for his arrest on the murder charge. And, you know, a lot of folks don't know, but you can file murder charges against someone without having the body. Circumstantial evidence, while a lot of folks think that you cannot be convicted on circumstantial evidence, in fact, you can be, and many people are every day.
Right.
Real quick, I thought that was very interesting. I'm going to play that piece. I'm going to roll that piece back one more time, talking about the evidence and talking about the fact that they don't need to have said remains to actually get him to catch a charge. I thought that was very interesting information. Let me play that one more time.
Mother of Brian Walshe lives in Swampscott. This was a dumpster outside her condominium where the evidence here was found in. Sources tell us the evidence there involved a hacksaw, a hatchet, some blood, and cleaning supplies, and all of that obviously would have gone to be tested at the state lab as well. And all of that evidence by now would have come back, and they would have all of what they would need to file the warrant for his arrest on the murder charge. And, you know, a lot of folks don't know, but you can file murder charges against someone without having the body. Circumstantial evidence, while a lot of folks think that you cannot be convicted on circumstantial evidence, in fact, you can be, and many people are every day.
Right. So an arraignment will be scheduled for tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, they're saying, at 9 a.m. in Quincy District Court. And again, for people who have not been paying close attention, Anna Walshe was reported missing several days into 2023 by her husband after it had been reported that she had left her 3 small children, allegedly gone to do business in Washington, D.C. But it was that gap in the timeline, right, that he said she had left the home on New Year's Day, but he didn't report her missing until days later. And then, as you point out, what looks like extremely damning evidence found in the basement of the home with the blood and the bloody knife.
Right. I mean, he apparently calls her employer looking for her, saying that he's not heard from her. Her employer reports her missing. But that's days after he says that she left for a work trip, a work emergency trip in Washington, D.C. And also a friend of the family who had been having dinner with him. He says he was having dinner with him. We of course, haven't verified that other than what they say. Said that she seemed happy and fine, and the couple seemed fine. And at first, the police actually came out and said, we don't think there's anything sinister here. We don't think this is a crime. We're just looking for her, and we're asking folks to come forward with information. But really, within a matter of days, all of that turned into something much more serious.
Let's listen. Here's the Norfolk DA.
Detectives from the Cohasset Police Department and the Massachusetts State Police detectives assigned to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office have been involved in an intensive investigation into the fate of Anna Walshe, a 39-year-old Cohasset mother of 3, since she was first reported missing on January 4th. Early in this investigation, the police developed probable cause to believe that her husband, Brian Walshe, age 47, had misled police investigators on material matters important to the search for Anna Walshe. He has pled not guilty to those charges and is currently being held at the Norfolk County House of Correction. The continued investigation has now allowed police to obtain an arrest warrant charging Brian Walshe with the murder of his wife. Mr. Walshe will be transported to the Quincy District Court for arraignment on the charge of murder. Additional details of the investigation and the evidence in support of those charges are likely to be presented at arraignment, but will not be disclosed at this time. This marks the second allegation of domestic violence homicide in Norfolk County in less than a month. Our thoughts are very much with the family these crimes have left behind.
So there is the Norfolk DA. So Cheryl, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, arraignment in Quincy District Court. What happens to Brian Walshe now? Is there something different about where he'll be held? What happens next for him?
No, he will probably still remain where he is. He's being held on charges of misleading investigators. And he's also out awaiting sentencing on a federal case where he was on an electronic monitoring bracelet. So he's going nowhere on both of those cases. So he'll be held until they either have a probable cause hearing on these new charges or they do a direct indictment to Superior Court, which is probably quite likely.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, this is very, very bad. I saw somebody ask a question. Babyface Killer said, no body needed. They may not need a body. The evidence could be enough to give them belief that there's no way. I mean, listen, the amount of red, right? The amount of red that was on those things, let's keep it real, could indicate that there's no way somebody would survive that. Zero. And if the DNA from the blood that was found on these items that they found matches that of Anna Walshe, yeah, they could sit there and put two and two together and say, listen, we don't need a body anymore. God knows he probably destroyed the remains or got rid of it, did something with it. So they don't need that anymore. They can literally look at that information, all that stuff, and go, this is enough to let us know that this woman's not coming back. Now, that does not mean that they don't have some semblance of her remains in their possession. That doesn't mean anything. Like I said, they haven't said anything yet. We don't know nothing yet, right? But as you heard from that person, that was basically commenting on this, in this particular kind of case, you don't need it. You don't, especially when you have everything else right there splayed out in front of you. The basement shows where the scene of the crime took place, or to the scene of what he did to her, what else she did to her. That is there. You have all the utensils, tools, etc., that he used to try to get rid of this young mother's remains. It shows without a shadow of a doubt that, yes, he did these things and he did whatever he could to get rid of this body. That's it. And I hate to say it like that. I wish it was a thing where she's somewhere locked up somewhere and they need to find her and whatnot. But from what they're saying, the information and the evidence that they have right now leads them to down the route of charging this piece of work right here with M. It's absolutely sad. But again, like I said, we hear many a story like this. And it's sad because as much as this is many a story that we've talked about on this show, this is a tale as old as time. Like, this is old. We hear these stories all the time. We don't know what transpired between them, what happened that New Year's Eve night. We don't know. We don't. But this is disturbing. Now, Marina, the only pushback I say, okay, and Leo girl, okay, okay, grateful one, yes, him guilty, okay, him guilty. This to me, Labar, if I had Labar here and we were talking about this, there ain't no way he could sit there and go, well, no way. Sorry. No way. All right. Everything is showing him guilty. But the only pushback I say about these two comments right here, because I know some people feel like, oh, definitely premeditated. Leo Girl just said that was from Marina. Leo Girl said, I mean, look at what info he Googled. Premeditated. Let me say this really quick. Okay. I disagree. I think this was a knee-jerk reaction, a crime of passion that he had no clue and had no plan of doing this at all. I'm sure things were going great. Things were going dope. Things were fantastic. Then something happened, maybe a little bit too much, a little too many drinks. Somebody said something that triggered somebody else and got him angry. And he already has a history of violence to the point where he has already said that he was going to unalive not only her, but also Anna's friends in the past. We talked about that too. So I don't think that this is premeditated, because if this was premeditated, he would have had all his ducks in a row. He would have thought this whole thing out way more. This would have been more like a Brian Kohberger situation. Okay? Even though Brian Kohberger did, I mean, allegedly, Brian Kohberger definitely made some huge, big mistakes. But we were for a while trying to figure out who did it. Where's the person? Where's this monster with the Idaho 4? But with this one right here, premeditated, you know for a fact, if it was premeditated, he wouldn't be Googling how to get rid of said body. He would have been looked that up a long time ago, had that planned out. He wouldn't have gone on the day of or a few days within the time that she had been reported missing and take his dumbass out to a Home Depot and pay $450 worth in cleaning supplies, right? If somebody was that premeditated, he would have already have these things set up, ready to go. At least that's what I think. Because I feel like if it was more premeditated, he may have had more time to clean things out, may have had more time to get rid of the remains, right? But he didn't. You could tell he did a botch job on trying to clean things up. He drove off and got lost on his way to his mother's house and discarded some of the stuff, some of the evidence that proved that he did something terrible and heinous and unthinkable to his wife. If this was premeditated, all this stuff, all the things that he's done that got him caught would not be here. He would have really thought this out. Or let's play this too. Or if this was premeditated, then this confirms he is the dumbest criminal, one of the dumbest criminals in the history of M. Because he clearly did not premeditate at all. You call this premeditated? Woo! Hamburger. This is not premeditated in my personal opinion. No offense, but I do not see this being premeditated at all. I see something happened, and he goes, damn. Oh, damn. And then now it's him trying to figure out how to cover up his own tracks. And he did it terribly. He didn't think about, they're going to look up my stuff online, or they're going to, if they were to find out, they're going to look up my Google search. Like, it's right there. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, they could have just typed H in Google. You know what I mean? Like, they open up the web page and touch the keyboard once. It could just be a space. And underneath, it would be everything down there. All of his search history. You know what I'm saying? And right underneath, it would be, the first thing would be, how to get rid of a like, come on. It's not premeditated, guys. This is a monster that did something very stupid and more of a knee-jerk reaction. Already, there was a history of violence with this guy and within this relationship. Clearly, there was definitely DV involved. There's definitely a history. And I think this time, he went a little too far. He went way too far. And that's sad. This is the reason why I say, everybody, keep your hands to yourself. Hey, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself, everybody. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Then you won't be this guy. Love thy neighbor. Love your spouse. Keep your hands to yourself. I know I just broke into song and everything, but I'm just being real. Okay. Period. Because again, you got 3 beautiful kids that no longer have a mama. And they will never really fully, except for the 6-year-old. Maybe the 6-year-old. But they are not ever really going to remember their mother's warm embrace, the kisses on the forehead, the encouragement. They won't have any of that anymore. Her best dish that they love more than anything in the world. They won't have any of that, y'all. And now they're going to have a dad who's now going to be considered a monster, living behind bars for the rest of his natural life. Real talk. But I want to say, though, real quick to the 5-0 out there in Massachusetts. Great work. I'll give him that, for real. And this was a quick turnaround, to be really honest. This was a surprisingly fast turnaround. Again, law enforcement came through in the clutch. But now it still remains, will they be able to stick this on to Brian Deterred? And I guess we're just going to have to sit back and wait. Sorry, I saw a comment that I wanted to grab. Where did it go? You guys are coming in with the comments, and I really do appreciate it. Real talk. Where did it go? Man, that annoys me. Charlie Miller just said this, and this is what caught my eye. He might plead insanity. Now, let's see. If he does, he's going to have to show grounds in which he had a moment of losing his mind. I mean, that is a very, of course, we've had many lawyers on this show. Okay. We've had many. And we've talked about things like this in the past. This is this right here. This ish right here. This ish right here. Opposite day. This ish right here. This comment right here. Okay. Let me say this. Do you realize how, and Charlie, he may try. Shoot, we might be like, he tried it though. He tried it. But if he does try this would be very hard for him to pull off. He has to be showing up with feces on his face, him talking crazy. Straight up. He would have to come off absolutely nuts. You know, like the movie A Time to Kill. Yes, I hope they died. You know what I mean? Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. You know what I mean? Like, he would have to be like showing that there was a moment where he snapped. And making that believable to a jury of his peers. That is a very hard argument. That's the only thing I say. Okay. Now, I understand that he has a mental history and that they say he was some people say that he's a sociopath and all that, and that he's been hospitalized. Sure. Okay. Sure. Right. But at the same time, that still does not. It's just a very hard argument. Very, very hard argument to prove. Even with all that stuff, it would be very, very hard. No matter what. Him guilty. Okay? He did it. So for them to sit there and go, okay, now he did it, but he just lost his doggone mind about it. We're just going to plead insanity about this. Now, jury, please think about it. I don't think the jury's going to sit there and go, yeah, I get it because he's so crazy. Yeah, it must be insanity. No. He already has a history of violence within his relationship with Anna. It'll be very hard to prove insanity when he's already shown in the past that he has done very bad things to his wife. If this was a knee-jerk reaction and it's like, boom, insanity, and it's like, he was such a nice guy and he was so caring and kind and he would never do these things to people. Insanity could play. Maybe. But he already has a history of threatening to take her life and her friends. Then on top of that, you got to remember all the stuff he did to try to cover his own butt. It's not like he went in and said, I did what I did. I'm so sorry, my wife. I did it. Nope. He tried to cover this whole thing up. He even got lost on his way to his mama's house. Have mercy. To even cover his own butt. Him guilty. Just like AJ Glam said, yes. Him guilty, in my personal opinion. Okay? Threats will override the mental history. Yep. And there's already a history of threats. Just saying. Charlie Miller, thank you so much for the 5. Lose all around. Lose all around. Absolutely. Mom gone. Kids have no mind. Okay. Kids have no mind. Dad is jailed. The kids will resent the dad for taking the mother away from them. Absolutely. And then it's also like, you don't know that these 3 kids might get thrown into the system, or they might be taken in under the wing of some of extended family. But at the same time, still nonetheless, they will have a hard time trying to get back some semblance of what home feels like, because their home has been destroyed by this man, allegedly. Because, of course, he still hasn't been found guilty as of yet. He's just being charged. And, of course, in a court of law, innocent till proven guilty. But obviously, in my personal opinion, all things are pointing towards something else. There's no way that he's walking from this. I'm going to say it. Okay? Ain't no way he's walking from this, y'all. Even if they try. Like I said, it'll be like, he tried that. Walk it off, baby. Walk it off. You tried that, though. That insanity plea. You tried that, honey. Enjoy jail. Enjoy prison. But I feel like that's what's going to be for him. Lisa, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. And yeah, I mean, let's pray that law enforcement doesn't drop the ball with the evidence. They didn't tamper with anything, nothing strange. And I'm not saying that they did. I'm just saying in general. Hopefully they didn't do it. Hopefully they did everything by the book. They go into this trial, guns blazing, with the evidence, and hopefully he buckles and he pleads guilty because all the evidence pitted against him. That's what I'm hoping for. But anyway, guys, I got to get going. I'm going to be back on in a little while, but I wanted to give you guys that information real quick. All right. So I appreciate all y'all for being here, but what we were hoping for more information. We were hoping it wasn't going to turn into this, but unfortunately it did turn into this nonetheless. Brian deterred Brian Walshe has now been found, or has now been charged with the unaliving of his wife, Anna Walshe. The question still remains. Maybe we'll find out more tomorrow. Hopefully we do. The question still remains. Do they have her remains? Or what evidence do they have that gives them without a shadow of a doubt that he took the life of his wife and the mother of 3? We're going to find out tomorrow for sure. Okay? But anyway, guys, I got to get going. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Hit that like button down below. I will be on a little bit later on this evening, so be on the lookout for it. So hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do that. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. All right? It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family anyway for your breaking news. I appreciate y'all for being here. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.